So while we're waiting for Eric, let's move to, I would make a motion to move to action item C and D. Is there a second? Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Did you vote? Okay. Motion carries. So the motion on the floor is to appoint Deborah Brody to the Finance Committee for a term July 1st, 21 to June 30th, 24. That is a long
Don't you need
period.
the moderator for that?
I believe we do. That's a valid point. Where is David?
Should I call Eric?
I can send him a message.
Sure.
Okay. Where the heck
Just
are
toss those
you?
papers down to me. Everybody else is still here.
I'll see you later. I'll let you.
That's James.
Actually, I was ordering Mary around, not you.
Yeah.
but thank you.
How are you?
Getting there.
Okay. Basically, where you going, John?
It was very quiet. It was a whisper. Is it Dave? Dave's coming. Dave's here.
He's here?
Hey, Dave. How are you?
Good, yourself?
Good. I think you're here.
Okay.
We just,
You're out of it, but
We just opened the meeting and there's a motion on the floor for an appointment for the finance, for Deborah Brody for finance.
Wait, that's a separate meeting of the planning committee, and I will take the minutes for that.
Okay. It's not,
It's not on there.
no, because we're like a joint meeting here. We're doing a joint meeting.
Is this not the appointing committee?
Yes, it is.
Selectman, town clerk, moderator.
Right. So,
So have we had, so we've got the joint meeting of the select board, finance committee, town council moderator, and assistant town clerk. So we have to open the meeting for the select board and the finance committee. Obviously, town council moderator and assistant town clerk are just individuals.
Okay.
But the two boards have to open their meetings and then you can meet jointly.
So I open mine, finance open.
Open meeting.
Okay, so once again, Deborah Brody, welcome.
thank you.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about why you're interested in joining our finance team?
I do have to say, Mary kind of encouraged me. I've known Mary for a long time. We worked together at the college.
Okay.
So when I was in the finance department at the college, probably 30, 40 years, I'm now retired and need, to do stuff. And I thought that would be a good fit for me here
Mhm.
at the finance committee.
We have stuff for you to do.
I thought you might.
Excellent. So you have a lot of experience in the world of finance.
I do, yeah.
Okay.
Basically, I ran the student accounts receivable,
Okay.
but that was under the umbrella of the finance department, which I worked very closely with,
Okay.
for year-end closings and things like that.
Also with Mr. Montanaro, did you work with him there as well?
He was in the facilities office. I was in the finance office.
Excellent.
So yeah, I do know him.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions, other questions for Deborah? We like to pretend we're going to drill you, but really we're just thanking you for offering your services.
yeah.
So all in favor?
All right.
Aye. Finance?
All in favor? Aye.
We need a moderator and assistant town clerk.
Aye.
I saw him raise his hand.
Welcome aboard. Thank you. The next motion is an appointment for Janet Lombardo for the term July 1st, 21 to June 30th, 24. Thank you for signing up again.
Thank you.
Is there a second for that?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Awesome. All right.
There's a place on there for all of them to sign. Carol.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so we'll start passing it this way. Give it time. Okay, so we're not doing meeting minutes from last week.
No.
Is there any audience participation, public comment? Fabulous. Okay, and so now we have our meeting with Town Council, Moderator, Finance, Town Clerk, and Select Board to look over the warrant for tonight. Are we squishing our budget into one vote again? Did we decide?
You have a bunch of,
I guess they voted you.
oh, I'm sorry. You have a bunch of raise and appropriates.
Yep.
Then you've got the overall budget. Then you've got a bunch of transfers. I know, and I did hear from at least one interested person, that there's a interest in consent agendas
Okay.
again. So we could talk about how to squash this down because, Article one's, Ed, if you just want to do a quick run through it. Article 1 is in the simple reports. Then we get into Article 2 is raise and appropriate. And great, they all say raise and appropriate or transfer, but and I think we've done this here before. I know I've done this with a number of towns. Even though, as you know, you have to specify the funding source, the moderator can announce that unless otherwise specified, the funding source shall be raised and appropriate. Because I think almost all of these can be raised and appropriate, they're not transferred. So then, Article 2 is raise and appropriate for Gateway, and the dollar amount is there. Article 3 is raise and appropriate for vocational education, the dollar amount is there. Article 4, raise and appropriate for vacational, again, the transportation vocational, and dollar amount is there.
Yep.
Article 5, raise and appropriate to the building stabilization fund, that's a simple majority, and the dollar amount is there. Article 6 is that's approval of short-term borrowings, so that we might want to leave aside for the moment, even though that's not a controversial one. Article 7 is raise and appropriate the entire budget. We probably don't want to put that in the consent agenda. So I would think that you could do, Article 1 you vote just separately because it's the reports. Then 2, 3, 4, and 5 you would vote as a consent agenda. So take those together. That would be my recommendation. Article 6 we would take separately. Article 7 you take separately. That's the big budget. Then we get to our transfers. So Article 8 is transfer from free cash to the capital projects account. So simple majority. 9 is free cash to emergency stabilization, simple majority. 10, free cash to the library stabilization, simple majority. Article 11, free cash to pay the road bond, simple majority. 11 from water department receipts to operate the water department. And it's a question whether you want to have that department separate or if you just want to roll right through it. I don't think anybody ever questions that department budget.
Not in the recent past that I can
No.
think of.
So
But I think,
It's up-
can we take those raised and appropriate from, or transfer from free cash, those articles?
So we do
8
8,
through
9,
11.
10, and 11. That could be a consent agenda.
Yeah.
And then, so 11,
Is transfer from water department, and water department,
but that's, 11 is their operating budget.
Yeah.
12 is to stabilization. So you could actually do 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, we got 2 11.
Yeah, we got 2 11.
All right, that's okay. So that's that time. So the 8, 9, 10, 11.1. Then we could do 12, 13. So I would do 8, 9, 10, 11.1, 12, and 13 as a consent agenda. 11.2 I would do separately because that's a departmental budget.
Yes.
If you're okay with that, Dave.
Yep.
Then, so 11.2 will be on its own. 14 is to stabilization, so that's a 2/3. 15 is to stabilization, that's a 2/3.
Do we have a
Yeah.
number for 14?
I'm sorry, from stabilization. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, both of those, so 14 and 15 are both from stabilization, so those are 2/3. And we don't have numbers we don't have a number for 14. So you might want to take those separately. And then 16 is that the big borrowing, you'll take, that's 2/3, take that separately.
Mhm.
Then, and this depends on how adventurous you want to get, 17 and 18, I certainly think could be taken together. The question is if whether you want to also throw in 19, all the bylaw changes together, and 20. Those are all, 17,
Bylaws.
18, 19, and 20 are all relatively, well, the change in the date, somebody might question that, I don't know. But I think we could take all the bylaw articles together and let somebody raise, and obviously Dave always says, you know, you're welcome to ask questions, so let them ask questions. Then 21 is the Mullen Rule, adopting 3923B, that should stand alone. And then 22 is the special act for the firefighters, let that stand alone. But that's just my suggestion.
Okay.
So we could take 12 and 13 together, which is transfer from water department retained earnings.
Yes.
And I think I would do that differently than from free cash, which is
Sure.
Articles 8 through 11.
So we'll do 8 through 11.1
Yeah.
as a consent agenda. 11.2 will be separate because that's a department budget, and it's a big number. And then 12 and 13 together.
Okay.
So to go back. Are you comfortable with everything I've been saying? Okay, so 1 will be taken separately because that's the reports. Then 2
Through 5.
through 5 will be the first consent agenda. 6 will be taken alone. 7 is the big budget, that'll be taken alone. Then 8, 9, 10, and 11.1 will be a consent agenda. 11.2 will be its own.
Mhm.
12 and 13 will be taken together. And then, did you want to put the 2 stabilizations together, or would you rather take those separately?
I think
14 and 15?
we can do it separately. They're water stabilization, municipal light stabilization.
Yep, they are, it's completely different. So then from there, so
We don't
14,
know what the figures are on it yet.
right, that's right. 14, we don't have a number yet.
Josh said 135,000
Mhm.
for
So that's
14.
14 is 135? Yep. Yes, that should be taken separately because for both reasons, 2 different funds and we have to insert it all now.
Josh, what was that on again? 135?
135, yeah, it's 92,500 that's being processed after you sign those bills. And then 38.5 that's been spent already in previous warrant articles.
Okay.
And that was for the deficit spending for Russell Stage Road emergency repair.
So then we're gonna do the bylaw changes, which will be 17, 18, 19, and 20. Those will be together. And then the rest, the 21 and 22 are gonna be on there. So that should move me along.
In provisions, it's just a simple majority, 21 and 22.
Yeah, there's a simple majority. Yeah, I could explain 21. That's just to allow someone who missed the meeting to be able to still sit on for a decision. And then 22 was the special legislation for tax exemption for firefighters, which, you know, I assume, Josh, you would address that?
We have Peter here for 16 if we need it for the borrowing for fiber.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I'm sure he'll be here. And for 15.
And
It's
Peter's
Gordon.
asked to speak quickly about.
Okay.
update, so.
Quicker than last time.
Is Gordon coming to talk about water? If anyone has questions or no?
He hasn't confirmed or denied one way or another he's coming.
Okay. Eric just said he's in South Carolina.
Yeah, I think he had said something to that effect.
I
last week.
forgot.
Can't participate.
I guess not.
I had someone asking me if you can do an absentee ballot or like remote voting at town meetings.
All right.
So we're all set. It'll be another 7-minute meeting, we think.
I think that would be pushing it.
I thought the last one was 15.
8. I don't know, it's pretty quick.
We do have new business. 6A,
Yes.
6B.
We also have action item B. We have to vote to release the executive
Oh, yeah.
session meeting minutes of September 18th, 2017. So I would make that motion.
Have you already reviewed and approved them?
Yes,
Yeah,
they
they're
were
from
reviewed
2017.
and approved back in,
Yeah, I saw that.
yeah.
Okay. Good to get them now.
Is there a second for
I'll
discussion?
second Tom.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. So I don't need to sign this. I return for shredding. See, we'll get right on there. Thank you. Okay. So Josh, do we have any unfinished business?
Just town meeting stuff.
Okay. New business. We have Miss Gerard up for our reopening picnic.
So Joanne, Margaret, and I have been, we met a couple of times thinking about putting together a picnic for the town. At this moment, we want to go through with it, but we're going to put it on hold.
Okay.
It's just a little crazy right now to push something through and make it really, I think, a nice event.
Okay.
in just such a short period of time. So we'll come back to you in
Okay.
about 3 or 4 weeks.
Sometimes toward the end of the summer, maybe.
Let's say,
Yeah.
we're thinking in maybe mid-September
Perfect.
and
Be
once,
a little cooler.
you know,
Okay.
we're back. But yes, we still
Okay.
would like to do something.
Great. Good. Thank you. Mr. Twyman, Fairgrounds. We're having the fair this year?
Boy, I hope so. Tonight, or the reason I came in tonight is just kind of a heads up. I tried to get in a few weeks ago and there was some scheduling issues, but
Okay.
we have 3 different events and a kind of a mini event.
Mhm.
Saturday, totally disparate, coincidentally on the same day. We got a horse show, tag sale, flea market,
Oh, good. Okay.
and touch truck.
Mhm.
And we, probably the most controversial one will be the pedal tractor kitties tractor pull because of the grandparents.
Okay.
Okay, there's significant bragging rights for the grandparents.
Okay.
And by the way, the notice that went out said I was on it. My first name is not Bob.
I was wondering if you changed your name.
Sorry, that was me.
I know, that's okay. You know,
What is
it's
it?
Bruce,
Sorry, Bruce, I knew
that's
that.
okay.
I knew that.
I just didn't want somebody to come in and say, well, geez, you know, it's a legal meeting because, you know, your name is.
If you have a few minutes, I can give you a list of the mistakes I made in the last.
You will not top mine, believe me. So basically, I just want to give you a heads up, those events, restrooms, normal, you know, our normal bathrooms, one of the food booths is gonna be open, run by us.
Okay.
And it's not gonna be, no one of these events realistically should overlap. People that are gonna be working at the horse show or exhibiting in the horse show are not necessarily gonna be interested in a tag sale and flea market.
Mhm.
People interested in the tag sale and flea market are not generally gonna be interested in going to watch the horse show. It just happened that we worked these out so that most of the supporting staff of the fair wouldn't be tied up other than getting ready for the fair.
Mhm.
And it's really a way for us to say, we're back. COVID's over. Guess what? We're gonna have a fair and we want everybody to know and introduce it to that. So
Great.
That's the plan right now.
So your water's back up and running. You have your water's turned on and running and all that?
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we normally do that Memorial Day,
Mm-hmm.
mid-June, just because we're working up there, weekends and an occasional, night type thing.
Is there an entry charge for people?
No,
Okay.
this event is free.
Okay.
Their only out-of-pocket expense will be if they get hungry
Mhm.
and they want, fair food, hot dogs, hamburgers, cheeseburgers,
Sounds good.
really limitation.
Okay.
I'm trying to think that we're just, because of post-COVID and because there are a number of, by the way, if anybody's interested here, I have had, and I did get my first COVID shot, okay? I was trying to get my second one, but I couldn't get the waitress to come back.
Funny.
That's all, that's the only response I can give. I am really, really disappointed. I reversed that delivery all the way here,
Yep.
okay? We expect that there'll be some participation.
Okay.
2 years ago, we ran Touch a Truck. I think we had 5 kids, but their parents were absolutely ecstatic because it gave the kids something to, they could touch and feel a
Yep.
little bigger than that.
Yep.
Are you doing that at the fair this year?
Touch a Truck?
Yeah.
No. There's no plan for it right now, Tom. And actually, it hasn't come up for discussion. Space limitations would be a challenge,
Yeah.
but we have that area, for those of you that aren't familiar with the fairgrounds, the southeast corner, which abuts the park,
Mhm.
from a point just behind the current bathrooms and the President's Building, it dropped like a rock, probably 20 feet before it hit the town line. We were able to get a contractor who was trying to get rid of a large amount of fill to dump it at the fairgrounds. So that whole area had been brought up level, or at least not much of a pitch. So we regained probably 1 acre to 2 acres of semi-flat terrain. So that, we could do something along that line if it hardens up. But we haven't taken it to that step, see how we get for response for this one.
All right. Well, the reason I asked was we've added to the fire department fleet, so we've got something for you to put on display.
I talked with David, the fire chief. I actually did a walkthrough with him a week ago. And I think it was one of the better walkthrough explanation, arbitration, negotiation, and compromise that we've done historically. And he indicated that they plan on supporting the Touch a Truck this weekend. I know Russell's gonna support it, Huntington's Granville's gonna support it.
Mhm.
And we've talked to several businesses. Tom, if you wanna bring a truck up, from Tom
Yeah, I can bring mine up, but that's an antique like me, so.
There aren't many people here that understand that I do know how much of an antique you are, right down to the date of your birthday, so don't get carried away here.
But our new tanker will be in Tuesday. And that is something I think if everybody should get a chance to look at it, it's their tax dollars at work.
Mhm.
Yeah, as I said, I talked to the chief and he plans on supporting it, so communicate with him and that's fine, no problem at all.
We do almost daily.
Yeah.
Do you, have you spoken with police and fire regarding this event? Do you need any police detail?
I just had a short discussion with the chief.
Mhm.
And we are gonna set the time where she and I can discuss the future.
Okay.
I do know that we have, we did not obtain a detail, but I do know that we're gonna get a walkthrough probably twice from Russell. And we're gonna have a canine detail, not a canine officer with his animal,
Mhm.
not a paid detail, but that will come through it once or twice when they're in the area. Now, all of that, all bets are off if they get some type of event where they've got to be there. But in communicating with them, it was just a question of, yeah, we'll support you. You know, we've done it for years, so we'll be there.
Okay.
So it won't be a structured, all day presence, but it'll be in and out a couple of times. And the event starts at 9:00, and structured close is 3. The only thing that would extend that is if by chance the horse show ran a little bit late, but it doesn't appear today that that's going to be the case.
Okay.
Questions?
Sounds like fun. I'm gonna have to bring the kids up.
More than happy. Absolutely more than happy. And as I said, it's a free event. The only charge is whatever you decide
Zoom
to
time.
purchase with hot dogs, hamburgers, cheeseburgers, whatever the case might be.
Sounds good.
The primary goal is we're back, COVID's over, let's have some fun in agricultural type events, and branched out again to something like the touch a truck and the kiddie pedal tractor. If you've never seen a kiddie pedal tractor contest, you need to.
What's
come
the
up.
age limit there?
I think it's 4 to 6,
All right.
7 to 9, up to.
I'm out.
up to
Violet's
age
out.
12. Well,
She could do some damage.
uh,
My kids are out. They're too old.
oh, all right, okay. Well, they could come up on Friday night at the fair,
Yeah.
get them a 4-wheel drive truck or something, and they can enter that.
Oh, I don't know. They're in between there.
That's always as much fun. You don't quite get the same
Yeah.
bragging rights that
No.
your grandparents.
Thank you very much.
Anybody
Bruce.
have any observations, questions for me?
Let us know if there's anything you need from us.
Okay,
We're happy to support.
Thank
Bye.
you, Bruce.
thank
Thank
you.
you. Not Bob.
Okay. Thank you. Take care.
You too. Josh, do we have any other new business?
Did you do 4D already?
Yeah.
Yeah, 11?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
We're good?
I'll sign, seal, and deliver.
All right. So we'll take a half an hour break before our other meeting. Are we done? We're gonna close this guy? Yeah,
Can I ask a question here?
of course, TJ.
How come we have 2 Article 11?
We don't.
Where you been? We got 11.1.
11.2.
Oh.
It's a bonus question.
No.
Just to see if you notice.
But that's good thinking. You didn't even miss a beat. So,